Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bastion YG here again with the Eagles hat reppin'. I'm recording on a Saturday, so I really hope they don't lose tomorrow. But it is what it is. You got it getting uploaded on Tuesday, I believe. So today, I just want to go ahead and go over some emergency ban list news. So as of right now, again, Saturday of whatever day today is. We have not received an emergency ban list. So why are we even discussing this? So the emergency ban list topic comes up each and every single time that we get a extremely high representation of a deck and is absolutely rampant, winning each and every single event, which we kind of have been seeing for the past two events, YCS Pasadena and YCS Dartmouth. I believe that's how you say it. But so in the first YCS Pasadena, it got 81%, I believe, of top 32, which was absolutely just going rampant. I think it was only three other ones. It was like three sprites and three Floowanderees making it in top 32, which pretty much is absolutely going rampant all over the entire event. Which then I made a video saying, hey, let's calm down. It's nothing crazy. It's just the Shizu cards were just released literally the day right before the event. So people are probably rushing. They probably didn't know exactly how to counter the deck, have not encountered playing the deck physically before. So a lot of things could be factoring into it. So I say, you know what, let's check it out. Wait until YCS Dartmouth. YCS Dartmouth comes around and it gets 71% of top 64. With I think we got a Draco Slayer in there, Floowanderees, one or two sprites in there as well. So what ended up happening is, of course, Floowanderees goes all the way to the finals and does actually really, really well in that finals, but of course they end up taking the L. Doing Floowanderees things is still a great counter to the Shizu Tearlament, but with just the representation alone of the deck. Not only that, but with the overall power that the deck has. I mean, I tried to play the deck. I really was trying combos with it, and it just broke my brain. And I used to play DDD. This is like on another level. This is on another level because DDD you have lines. You have a card, great, you can go to this line and there's no RNG. With this, it's just so random, going to chain link freaking 12 constantly, and it broke my brain. But for those of you who have a much bigger brain than myself, which seems like it's a lot of you out there, this is going to be definitely the best deck of the format. So how is Konami going to fix this? How are we going to be able to make amends, and how are we going to be able to make sure that this just stops? So first of all, let me go ahead and get this out the way. The Shizu cards are brand new. They just came out literally 2 weeks ago, so there's no way any of them are getting hit anytime soon. Kelbeck, Keldo, Medora, Agito. Agito is not even really being used right now. Maybe at 1, maybe at 1. Let's go ahead and leave it at that. So it's kind of falling out of favor. Even though you can still counter your opponent's cards when it's into the graveyard, I think it's still a good card. But then again, I don't play that deck anymore because it broke my brain. So what cards can we hit to make sure that the deck overall just stops being this overpowering? So a good thing to keep in mind is that we cannot overly hit the deck, because then what's going to happen is, of course, the two other decks that are best in the format, which is Sprites and Floowanderees, are then going to go ahead and take off. Maybe we see a little bit more Draco Slayers as well. That's seen a lot of hype as well. Maybe some Dragon Link with the Bestial cards. So all these cards are really just coming into effect and coming into place. So what are some cards we can definitely go ahead and hit in an effective way that won't absolutely kill Tearlament, but it'll hinder Tearlament's consistency? And that's exactly what we're trying to hit, because the thing with Tearlament is that it is an RNG luck based deck, right? You don't know where you're going to mill. You have absolutely no idea. There's no way to stack your deck. It's not Spiral. But what you can do is make sure that you're maximizing the amount of cards that do mill and that do things in the graveyard. That way, no matter what you hit in the graveyard, you're still going to be able to have the same plays and continue to go off. So first card that we're going to go ahead and hit to hit the consistency of this deck is the Field Spell. I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's going to be right here on the screen for you guys. But this card right here is actually crazy. So I understand there's a lot of field spells that search something on activation. Trickstar Life Stage is one of them. Trickstar Life Stage is not nearly as powerful as this card right over here. So essentially, what's the BFD with this card, right? Not only does it search you, Tearlament on activation, grants your monsters attack points, and then it also pops cards on the field. Any card on the field, not just spells, not just traps, not just monsters. It can be any card on the field. Go ahead and pop it, and you're good to go from there. boost your attack points, and it's the amount of advantage you get from having such a card. You don't even have to activate your fusion summon monstrous effects. You could be, you know, summoning whatever. Or I think it's when it shuffles back. Yeah, it's when it puts it back in the bottom of the deck. You could be summoning whatever you want. You could be summoning out, like, I don't know, 1,000 dragon. I don't know if that's actually something you can do, but you know, the point is, it doesn't matter what fusion monster you're summoning, as long as you're putting something back into your deck, it gets to pop a card. That's actually insane. The thing is, Tier Ishizu, with the Ishizu cards, you can just shuffle it back into your deck. So putting it at 1 hinders the overall immediate consistency of power, but it's not like it'll completely get rid of the card overall. You're still gonna play it. You can still play terraforming, really, because if you mill it, just shuffle it back and you're good to go. So it's like no harm, no foul for a Tier Ishizu player. They just won't be able to have as consistent access to it. So it's not something that I think will kill the deck. I mean, my boy Ford, he plays with 1 field spell, and he's done really good with the deck as well. It's not a necessary card at 3 per se. It helps out a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's a card that with it at 1, the deck is still playable, which is what we're trying to do, but it hinders the consistency of the deck, which is another thing that we are trying to do, but not too much. So it's a fine line that we're trying to do with emergency ban list. There's a lot of things going on, but this to 1 is definitely something that needs to happen. Second card that we're going to go ahead and hit is Halfness. Halfness allows your opponent to play during your turn, which really I'm not a big fan of, because after you're done fusion summoning on your turn for 45 minutes, I would like to play, but then you activate Halfness and you can activate all your harder ones per turn effects once again during my turn. So it just takes a lot out of it, and it becomes our turn. That's where, you know, the meme really comes from. So with Halfness, I really just don't think this card should be played. I think let's go ahead. Okay, so I'm stuck between limited and forbidden on the list. I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and ban Halfness, just because it has so much advantage for you. I would say Kit Kalos needs to get hit as well, but realistically, Kit Kalos is only played at 1 currently. So what are you gonna do? You can't. If you ban Kit Kalos, you're gonna completely ruin the deck. The deck is just gonna be gone. Hitting Halfness, banning Halfness, because that's what lets you fusion summon again consistently and just completely obliterate your opponent. That is the card that you want to hit. So I say ban Halfness and limit the field spell, because Halfness is just so much. So anyway, ban Halfness, field spell. Another card I want to go ahead and hit is Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion, it needs to be banned. I mean, this card has been talked about for years and years, and now we have a deck that after it uses it, it can shuffle it back and activate it again. That is actually so crazy. It's like Tier Ishizu. It's similar to the field spell, right? Similar to the field spell, it's at 1, but even if you mill it, it's fine. Shuffle it back, draw it, search it, activate terraforming. You have a way to search the field spell. Field spell isn't a problem enough, but then activating instant fusion more than 1 time in a duel is the reason that card was limited. And now that this deck can go ahead and abuse it, it's just crazy. It just blows my mind why this is actually still legal. So Konami, listening, nothing else needs to get hit. Not even D-Shifter. It's fine. Call by the Grave stays. All the Bestial cards stay. Those are brand new. It's fine. Even Mystic Mine, fine. If you want to keep Mystic Mine off the ban list, whatever. We'll deal. It's not like Mystic Mine is doing anything at the moment, but that is coming up. That is coming up next. Please hit Mystic Mine eventually. Not right now. I understand. Banlist needs to really just deal with the Ishizu Tearlament. So if you guys agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. We're going to go ahead and ban Halfness, limit the field spell, and we're going to ban Instant Fusion, and that will make it a much more even playing experience with your opponent. And I think it's going to be a lot more balanced, especially with new players coming into the game. This is actually a really good time for new players to come into the game. Just with the overall pricing, that's really the biggest issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the pricing of all these decks is just so wild and so outrageous. I mean, people who want to play Tier Ishizu when the deck's cards were first coming out paid like $200 for all the cards. Now it's $2-3 for all the cards, which is really nice. I mean, $2-3 each, except for Kelvic. But the entry point, the price point, the barrier to entry, I should say, right, to Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten so much better. So I do appreciate Konami definitely doing for making it just a lot easier for new players to be able to invest into the game and to actually be able to play the decks that they want. But when Tier 0 formats arise, it's kind of countering the whole new player thing, because, you know, new players going to show up with their brand new, you know, budget Fluandrews deck. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, I uploaded that yesterday. Or they're with their, you know, Dark Buster Blader deck, or, you know, whatever. And they're going to get absolutely shellacked by, you know, the Tier 0 Ishizu player just going off and going ham and cheese. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for my rants. Enough for this video, guys. If you guys do agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. If you don't agree with me, again, let me know in the comment section down below to see what cards should be hit, what cards can be hit, or if I should hit other decks as well. Again, let us know. We can go ahead and discuss in the comment section as well. Leave a like down below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.